How do I edit $1 million ad concept that scale D2C brands? So in this video, we're gonna see a bunch of stuff that helps you understand how your videos need to be edited in order to increase the chance to make 1 million ad concept. I own an ad creative agency. We help D2C and e-com brands scale past 7-8 figures, and we spent over 50 million in ad spend profitably. I overview the production of over 1,000 ads every single month, and one of our latest case study, we went from 1.1 million to 2.7 million a month. So we are very familiar with ads. This is everything you need to know, so let's jump straight into it. So in this video, we are not going to see the editing basics. We are going to see only the thing that really matters in terms of final output that you can see in a video. If you are editing your videos for your brand, if you have an editor, so that you can understand how to give them a good feedback and what are the things that really matter, that are stopping you from getting winning ads. So in my agency, I created an SOP for editing so that we could work with different editors, and not a lot of them are working in the direct response world. So when first we started to hire them, we had to, train them so that they got not the editing basics, the techniques, but the technicality, but so that they also had some understanding of what need to be done in order to achieve good ads in direct response that drive results, that convert, right? The first thing is that they need to be coherent. And what coherent means is that in an ad, you have the caption, the images or footage, and the audio, okay? The audio, so is the person speaking usually, okay? It's a voice, person speaking. You want to have the caption that says exactly what you hear, okay? And you want to hear exactly what you read. Okay, so you want to read the same thing that you hear, very important, okay? And you want to listen to what you're watching. Like you want the images to sustain what you're saying, okay? So images should sustain what you're hearing, what you're listening to, what is the message, okay? So if I'm speaking about feature A, okay, which is the feature of your product or whatever your service is, in this case could be that is it's pocket size, and this is a very important feature for your product. Well, in the image, I want to see that. I want to see that it's pocket size, so put it in the pocket, okay? Literally, if I don't see that and I see just a random image of the product, but the product is not compared to anything else where I can't see the size, I can't tell the size of it, I'm not enhancing the feature, okay? So the image must sustain, maybe a better word is enhance your script, okay? So it needs to be coherent. Another thing that is pretty important is the pace of your editing, okay? Now, in general, you want to follow these two principles. You need to be able to see and understand what you're seeing, read, before moving to the next shot. So you want to keep your edits to change a scene every 2 seconds. So every 2 seconds a scene must change, except when you need more time to consume the information, okay? Because maybe you are making a very long sentence, maybe you're showing a before and after, and it takes a little bit, it takes more than 2 seconds, more than 1 second. You don't want to cut before being able to understand and to consume the caption, the image, and the audio. If you fail to consume the caption because I didn't read till the end and you're already cutting, that's a mistake. Same for the image. You don't have enough time to process the image to understand what's going on, what happened, or to hear that, okay? And you're already cutting. But on average, if it's lasting more than 2 seconds, it's a mistake. Nowadays, on Facebook ads, on Meta, on TikTok, shouldn't last more than 2 seconds. Last thing to understand is your target audience, because of course, if your target audience, I doubt that your target audience is between 18 and 25, probably the majority, of D2C brands sell to 50 plus people, 40 plus people. So you need to understand that you need to go slow with this guy, okay? It doesn't matter if you're a young guy, if you understand everything, you know your product, you understand everything, you can go fast. For them, it could be the first time that they see your brand, etc. So you need to go slow, not too slow. So 2 seconds. And you need to give them time to consume your content. Another thing is captions. Captions need to be readable. If you put the caption, but the font is not understandable, the font merge into the background, it don't stand out, you fail. And to make it readable, you need 3 things. So the first is contrast. So basically you want contrast, and the best way to achieve that is to work with captions like TikTok, the TikTok style and stuff. Just copy that. Just Google it, how to make them, and you'll be fine. Just use them. Don't change caption. Don't use others. Just use those ones. So what you want to have is the background all in dark, and then you will write in white inside of it. And this way, it doesn't matter what you have around, if it's dark or if it's bright, you will still be able to read every caption. Another thing that is really important to make it readable is the position. If you're making ads, you probably want to make them in 9:16 and you want to make them in 4.5 because these are the best 2 formats. We're gonna see them later. And to optimize this, I want you to know that the concept of eye fatigue. If you have one caption written there and in the next scene you have it here, and the next scene you have the focus of your image that is here, and in the next scene is here, the constant change of attention, the movement of the eye of your viewer will suffer. They will suffer from fatigue, and this will let them unconsciously perceive the video as something that is troublesome. So the eye of the people that are watching your ad will be stressed, and they will result into scrolling and skipping the ad. They will increase the chance of scrolling, okay? Instead, if you keep everything more or less here inside, maybe you have the person speaking here, maybe you have the caption here. Next scene, what happens is that you still have the caption here in the center, and another person that is speaking here, there, or your product is always, let's say, in the center. You keep everything here in the middle. Viewers will not suffer from eye fatigue. They will not stress, and this will decrease the chances that they scroll. Okay, so keep everything in the middle. Don't keep them up or down. Okay, this is wrong. You want to keep everything here. The third element of captions is the font. You just want to have a modern font that is simple. I mean, use your logic. Don't make it unreadable or fancy or catchy or too small or too big, okay? And also give chance people to read. I mean, you can do also the fast pacing that up every second, like a new word comes. I would not suggest that. I would suggest, and we see that the ads that perform better or the caption that are easier to follow usually have one sentence over 2 seconds, next 2 seconds, another sentence, okay? You don't change this every 0.5 seconds, okay? Like a machine gun. Maybe you can use it for the hook, but don't use that. Just put one sentence every 2 seconds, every scene, every time you cut, and you'll be fine. Another thing that is pretty important is music. Don't use it. It's a no. Don't use music because most of the ads actually are full of music, crappy music, not the music that you hear on social media. And music actually distracts, especially if it's not the exact perfect right music that you need in your videos. So don't use that and go without the music. Most of the people that are now posting organically don't use music. Why should you use? Especially if you're speaking, if there is a script, if there is a UGC creator. No, people think that the video seems boring, without music. Oh, but it sounds boring, it sounds, slow, etc. That's because the edit, the script, what you're saying, the message is boring. Not because there is no music. What you actually do, and I see it all the time, people say, oh, damn, it sucks. Add some music. Now it doesn't seem boring, but the problem is that it's not effective. And it's not effective because everything else is boring, right? So don't use it to cover. This is a big mistake. You don't want to use the music to cover. You want to avoid using music, or if you're a pro, an expert, and you just do aesthetics, or if your product is mainly, you know, aesthetic, like for fashion brands or skincare and stuff, or just visual where you don't have the scripts. Like, I don't know why you don't want to have the scripts, but maybe if you don't want to have the script, yes, you can use like some trend music or some stuff that is not copyrighted, that is very similar to something that, you know, it's going on now. But I would suggest just to use words. So another thing is that you want to optimize the aspect ratio for the placement, of course. And you can see in your ad account, if it's working more than 9:16, the 4.5, the 1.1. Don't use that. Use 9:16, use 4.5. What we do is we already make the edit perfect for this one. Whenever we do the 9:16, we just cut this part and this part, and we already have the 4.5 version of it. Okay, so it optimized because in the feed it's 4.5 on your phone, of course, and you know, in the stories and the reels and all the stuff, it's 9:16. Okay, audio. So you don't want to have an audio that is below the other content that people see, because people watch the content, you know, organically, and then they see an ad and it's really low volume, or it's really high volume, like too much. If it's too much, they're gonna skip it right away because it's easier to skip than to lower the volume. If it's not enough volume, of course, they don't hear it. So keep everything at -6 decibel. Hopefully, if you are a brand, if you are doing ads, whatever, you are not doing like one ad at the time. Also, when you review the work of your internal team or whatever, you're just gonna see like 10 ads, right? At the time, you're gonna see if there is a difference between these 10 ads, and you're gonna notice that, and you're gonna ask the editor, is it at -6? It should be between -12 and -6. It can't go between -6 to 0. This is too loud. This is not enough, okay? Your editor guy, whatever, knows what decibels are. This is the right one, but keep it closer to -6. Footage selection. Okay, it's very important to recognize what are the best shots and what are the worst shots in terms of feature and benefits. If the footage is not enhancing the feature, the benefits of your product, the problem, and all the things regarding, you know, the selling blocks, like for example, desired outcome, if it's not enhancing that, you should discard that. It's not useful. So if you have a product that is small, you know, pocket size, you want to put next to it something very big to make people understand that that is very small, which is something that you want to, you know, show. Or if your product is super fast, you want to let them understand that it's fast. You want to cut the things that are slow. Maybe, I don't know, there are some parts of your product that are slow, some parts that are fast. You only want to show the fast stuff. For example, if you have an app, you want to cut all the parts where the app is actually processing and it's slowing down, etc. You want to make things look good, better than all the competition, than all the other solution, right? For example, we have one product that has high arch and helps supports, you know, help with flat feet and stuff, and helps supports even heavy people. In terms of footage, a good type of footage is putting weights over this insole to pass the message that it's resistant, right? So the feature is it's resistant, it can handle a lot of weight. So choose the footage right. Editing, the editors can do nothing about this if your footage is wrong. So that's a whole nother story, but make sure to enhance your features, benefits, pain points, etc., etc. Now, these are the things that you have to remember and you have to consider and provide feedback to your editors so that they are aligned on what needs to be done to increase the chances to get a winning ad. And all of these features, all of these concepts work within the main goal, which is the information consumption optimization. Okay, so you want to optimize the way people consume information, because the more information they consume, the faster they go through the stages of your funnel and consider the purchase, okay? Or consider the click to go to your next section, next phase, okay? So it's very important. So at the end of this edit, you need to ask yourself, is the message clear? Because of course, you need technicality. You need music to sustain and not to distract. You need footage to enhance what you're saying, what the message is, about your product, about your unique selling proposition. The audio have to, be good. The placement need to be optimized so that whenever they scroll, they take a larger piece of real estate, a larger piece of the screen so that they can see better, and the scroll becomes a little bit slower, let's say, also. And you need to consider that as well as all the rest, because if you can't communicate your message, everything is worthless, right? So this is how you edit ads that can scale your brand. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe. If you own a brand and you need help with ad creatives, that's what we do. We specialize, we can help. So make sure to book a call. And we don't sell anything in the first call. We just gonna speak about your business, what's holding you back, if we can help, and how we would do it. So then you can decide if you want to execute it yourself or get our help. See you in the next videos, and bye.